adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, we'll travel like that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home.
Hi guys, back again for some more wild camping. I must apologise firstly because I haven't getting out as much as I would like to have getting out. It's been a while. The weather here in the UK has been absolutely terrible. We've had non-stop rain for more or less for the last 2 months, high winds, and it's just difficult finding a nice window in the weather to get out, coincide with any time off you may have. It's middle of February now. It's not actually that cold, but it's just wet. So like I says, I'm in my local woodland. I found a nice spot here. I'll just show you around and see what we've got. There's not many places around this woodland where you can camp, to be honest with you. It's either boggy or it's too uneven. There's the river down there. That's the river I fish in the summertime. Although I hate litter and rubbish, you know, I've seen that lying around. You can see the birds have been pooing on that. But I can use that under my ground sheet. The raises off the ground a little bit more. Gives a bit more protection from the cold, and that on the bottom as well, an old foam bit mat, or it's off a bursted couch or something like that, I don't know, but that'll come in handy. Right, here's my stash. I've got water, but I won't be needing it because I've got my Katadyn water filter which I'm testing today, tarp, ground sheet and a roll mat. I brought these along a couple months ago because I planned on coming along here once the conditions improved. What I'll do is I'll just string a tarp up now because it is starting to rain and I want my gear underneath, keep them dry. I might even put a few logs under, so if the rain does ease off later I'll be able to light a fire, and hopefully I'll have dry wood as well. What do you think, guys? Just the job. Got the mat, ground sheet, and a little sleeping bag. So well off the ground, well insulated, so I'm not going to get cold. Nice and flat. Absolutely chucking it down now. Still not stopped raining. Marvellous, isn't it? I'm going to knock up my bus chair now. Not that I'm going to be sitting out in this, like. Bear with us, guys. Here's a tripod that I made earlier. Go. One end's tied, the other end's been folded over. See that? And I've run some cordage through, made a loop, ran some cordage through, and put a stick through there. Well, I'll show you anyway. Easier to show you than to waffle learn about it. Need a stick. Hope I don't get a suntan. There must be crackers coming up in this. I'll turn it round. I'll get a nice view of the river in the rain. I don't think my bus chair's going to see much action tonight. Oh, it's absolutely chucking it down now. I need to get some water now, so there's a small stream in the yards not far from where I am, and I want to test the new water filter out. We'll go take a look there. Just a tiny little stream. Quite muddy as well, like due to all the rain that we've had. And that runs directly off the fields, farmers' fields. So basically it needs filtered, and ideally it needs boiled as well. One thing I'll have to say about these quick release connectors, these CPC connectors, they're compatible with hydration bladders, or some of them anyway. I've got the Camelbak Mil Spec Antidote 3 litre reservoir, and what it's got, it comes with the 1/4 inch quick release. That's the bait valve, that comes off. It has the same connector, and that'll snap onto the filter, and you can fill your water reservoir directly from the stream. The ordinary Camelbaks just have the bait valve, just without the quick release. So if you want to use it with a water filter, you have to buy an adapter kit, and you've got to basically cut it and splice the new connectors together for it to be able to use it with the Katadyn water filter. But it's the same 1/4 inch connectors, CPC connectors, as what the Katadyn water filter's got, and that would just fit into there. Comes off. The Mil Spec version of the Antidote reservoir is better spec. It's not much more expensive actually, but it's got this anti-abrasive cover. It's, you know, it's coyote colour. It's drab colours, which is what I like. Now I'm not sure whether I've got to take the top off the Camelbak to allow the air to escape while I'm pumping. I'm not doing that as a test. Just, it's amazing you don't have to do that. So basically I'm filling an empty Camelbak directly from the stream. Sucked a lot of air in because the water's that fast flowing. The float there, sorry, the pre-filter's not sinking down into the water enough. So I'll knock that float all the way back, drop it back in the water, and it says up to a litre a minute. I think it was something like 47 or 46 pumps a minute gives you a litre. The filter can easily be cleaned in the field as well. I could maybe show you that later. Getting a bit harder to pump there now. It's not pumping any air. It's just filling up. Yeah, it's working fantastically. So what you got, guys, is a very convenient way of getting water on the fly, on the go. You don't have to take the reservoir out your bag or anything. Just plug it in and away you go, start pumping. Fresh clean water. But like I said before, it won't take out viruses. You will need to boil your water if that's a concern. Back at camp. It's too muddy to film around the stream. It was just, I was up the eyes in it. So I've come back, I've got me water, and I just thought I'd discuss this a bit more with you. The idea of the coffee filter, as you can see that, it's absolutely happy. Now, even though it's got the pre-filter on, which is 150 microns, the coffee filter will, you know, extend the life of your filter absolutely very silty, sandy almost. Aye, sandy, gritty. So it's done its job. I've just checked the reservoir. It's full. In fact, it was a little bit more than full. And there was a little bit of air in as well while I was sucking up air, because this wasn't in the bottom of the stream. It was sort of like dangling on the top. But after a while it sunk and it filled up quite quickly. So I'm quite pleased with that. The filter kit also comes with a sponge. That'll be for cleaning the filter. And a small tube of silicone, which is for the O-rings, the seals. Helps when you're pumping, you know, it makes it a little bit more smoother. Take it out and show you. It can be cleaned in the field. And what's different between this and the ordinary hiker, like I said, it's got the CPCs, the 1/4 inch quick release, but also, just remove that, unscrews. And the filter cartridge comes out. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that, it's a little bit mucky. So, but what you do is, it's got a cover. This comes off. And that's the difference, I believe, between the Hiker Pro and the ordinary hiker. That it's got one of them, you can take it off and you can give that a wash. It's actually a little bit dirty. I don't know if it's, hasn't really, I know that may just be the cut. No, that's a little bit dirty. So as you can see, it's a little bit of the sand and grit is getting up there, the very fine sand and grit. Well, it's obviously going to, you know, 150 microns, that's only, you know, large particles. It's a pre-filter really, and this is the proper filter. But you give that a clean with a sponge, put that back on there, then you put this cover over the top, so it can easily be cleaned in the field. I nearly went for the Katadyn with a ceramic filter, which has got a slightly smaller holes. I think it's down to 0.2 microns, but it's made of ceramic. I mean, I believe they can be cleaned, but you've got to be very careful. Take that out and drop it. They can break very easily, and I don't believe they have the carbon in, the activated carbon granules in as well, and that was one of my concerns, you know, like, because I do a bit of wild camping in like lowland woodlands, and a lot of the water drains directly off farmland. Well, as you know, you've got fertilisers, you've got chemicals, so the carbon filter is important in help taking some of those toxins out. As you can see, that goes back in there and screws in. That's an O-ring, which you can use the silicone on that to keep it working smoothly. It's recommended when you get home to let it dry out thoroughly and pump a little bit of chlorinated water through, just to, you know, like, kill any mould that may develop if it's left for any long periods of time. But it's very important that you must let it dry out thoroughly. Everything quick release, as you can see. There you go. Does the job. If you're a prepper, if you're a wild camper, you know, if you go for days wandering into the backcountry, something like this, it can save your life. But obviously, you know, you do need to be aware that it doesn't do viruses, it doesn't kill viruses. You need some kind of, you know, like UV filter, chemicals, iodine, chlorine, whatever. You know, I'm not really that clued up on it, so don't take my advice. You know, if you're anywhere you're going in the world, seek independent advice, professional advice, and find out what's in the water before you go anywhere. I mean, like most things, I read the reviews before I buy anything, and I had a good look around on the internet, and I got it. It was a bit of a bargain actually. You know, I got it for just under £70. You know, like something that'll filter up to 300 gallons. You know, that's a vital piece of kit. It's only 300 grams as well. So if you think about the water you need to carry into the woods for 2 or 3 days, even longer, or even overnight, 300 grams is nothing. And the bag's not very bulky either. And normally I just carry a a litre of water in my Osprey bottle, but it's not enough. And I've got the faff of having to boil stuff and that. But like I says with this, you know, you do have to boil water to be absolutely sure that you've killed everything. But today I'm not going to bother. I'll boil water for a brew and that, but I'm quite happy drinking out of that water. I've done it out that stream. I've done it before. I know I shouldn't, you know, when it's been running really clear. And I know that's no indication of safe water, clear water. Never assume anything's safe until you boil it, but I've done it in the past and I've been okay, but it's something I wouldn't recommend. Please, that rain's eased off a little bit now. And here is the Camelbak Mil Spec Antidote 3 litre water reservoir. I'll take it out and show you. I know that water's clean now, and I will show you how clean it is. I'll actually do that now. Just give you a look to see how clear that water is. I thought that was a smell of mess. I've had methylated spirit in there. I thought my stove was leaking. I brought this along actually as a pee bottle. Shows you how big it is, doesn't it? Oh dear. I'm not going to drink it obviously because it's had methylated spirit in the bottle, but you can see by that is clear, and that water was very turbid, you know, it was full of mud and stuff. What I like about these Camelbaks, I think it'd be tricky to get in your backpack with the drinks tube, but it's got this quick release, the quick lock or whatever it's called, and you get a little bit of a couple of drops of water comes out when you disconnect the hose pipe, but it doesn't spurt water or anything. So this can be just put into your backpack. Drinks tube can be inserted afterwards. Much easier putting it in that way. And what I like about this quick release, or what I should say, it's more of a quarter turn. It opens. Got the arrows on. Line the arrow up, quarter of a turn, and that's it locked. No, you know, like continuously turning. Is it tight enough? Is it tight enough? Over tightening sort of thing. Just drop it in. Feed your pipe. Obviously, I've just took this out for demonstration purposes, just to show you. But it feeds through there like that. And hit the hole. And it's easier to attach the hose to the bladder, and it should just click into place like that. And it goes. So I've got this hanging off my bus chair, and it's a simple case of letting gravity do the work. And I've got clean water on tap. Give that a bit of a swirl. Typical, isn't it? Sun's come out and it's setting in about an hour. Great little system for carrying water. Doesn't taste anything other than mineral water. Doesn't taste like tap water, that's for sure. No chlorine, no aftertastes. You know, I watched the guy, Sergeant Fruitcake they call him. Check out his channel, it's a fantastic channel. He bought the water filter and he filters his own wee and drank it. So it's something it's not recommended, but in an emergency, you know, it could be a lifesaver. And if the filter is capable of doing that, you know, it can save your life. You know, if it can filter pee, it can filter muddy water, it can, you know, it's a damn good little filter, that's for sure. Oh, cheers, I'll have another one. Beautiful, isn't it? Being in the woods, especially when spring is just around the corner. And in fact, the early signs of spring are here, to be honest with you. You've got wild garlic coming through. There. Smell it first, because you've got other things coming through. The bluebells aren't far behind, and they're poisonous. Oh, it's lovely. The young shoots, not too strong. Get some more of that. Just tastes like spring onion, a little bit stronger. Got something else to show you guys. Can anybody remember having one of these as a kid? The Black Widow. Must be stressed though, they're not toys. You know, they can do some serious damage, and I've been hit up the backside with one of these a couple of times in my earlier days. There's no fishing at the minute. You know, it's close season, not until the end of March. So I thought I'd entertain myself with one of these, a little bit target practice. You never know. There's a lot of pigeons roosting in this wood. There's feathers and poo everywhere. And if I'm really quiet, you know, you never know, I might hit on. Got a little bag of pebbles. Those stones off my garden actually. Just brought a handful along just for a bit of target practice. You can tell I'm out of practice. And I haven't even touched it. Hey, must have ghost or something. Couple of shots to get my eye in. Oh yes. But it just goes to show how powerful they can be. In one end, straight out the other, went straight through. So it must be stressed again, guys. These aren't toys, and you shouldn't fool around with them. And in a survival situation, they could get you your dinner. There's a feather. So I mean, there's one or two in here now where just flown away. The thing is, when they're sitting in the trees, they're so difficult to spot. You can actually easier waiting for them flying in, and then you see them land. But another couple of months when the foliage is covering the trees, you won't see them at all. Or it'll be very hard to see them anyway. As you can probably guess, it's starting to get chilly now, so I've got a brew on the go. I've never really used my Trangia stuff, to be honest with you. I made a pot stand out of some bicycle spokes, and I just bent them into shape. It's not very strong, to be honest with you. It's a bit wobbly, as you can see there. I think as it starts to get dark, it will be cold, so what I think I'll do is I'll have me brew, and then I'm gonna snap some of them twigs up, and I'm going to make a bit of a fire layer. Just sort of have it. See how that mud, man. Might not rain the night, like, not now. But you never know. Can't beat the old Nescafe 2-in-1. I'll use 2 of them. Gives us a slightly stronger drink. Warm us up. The wood's really dry in the middle, which is great. I should have no problem getting a fire going tonight. I made my fire sticks from the wood I split earlier, and that wood is dry. The inside of the wood's dry. It's a small woodland and there isn't much in the way of tinder, so when I'm out and about I gather what I can find. And I've got some birch bark. That'll come in handy. And while I was foraging in the shed the other day, I found some dry island. Really good for lighting fires, and my philosophy is use what you've got lying around. Always comes in handy. Right, we'll get the show on the road. There we go. Birch bark going. Oh yes, that's good stuff. Get the old feather sticks on the top. And as the wood dries, it will get stronger. Oh, it's a bit smoky though. And what I'll do, I'll start lying wood next to the fire, which will help it dry out a bit as well. See, it's alright. Just lying down here. And the heat is just coming in, circulating around, and I'm toasty warm. And I've got the fire about 3 metres away. It's a bit high at the minute, but that'll die down, and when it dies down I'll be able to cook something on it. But for a February night, it just doesn't feel cold at all. Beautiful. Not the prettiest of shelters, but effective. If it does rain, which it probably will, there's a bit of an overhang there. About 1.5 foot overhang, but I'll be in my bivvy anyway. So, because I've got a down sleeping bag, and any condensation that drops on the down bag, I'll just stop us from keeping warm. A fire spitting. I'm put nothing else on for now and just let it die back. And I'll cook me meatballs. It's not exactly pigeon, but if I close my eyes and imagine that it's pigeon, it will taste like pigeon. In fact, meatballs can be whatever you want them to be. Could be sirloin steak, could be rump. You know, you're just limited by your imagination. Right, I think it's about time to break out the meatballs. The meatballs and the mash. I've got the water boiling there. It's a lovely bed of coals. It shouldn't take very long to boil that up, and add the instant mash and then meatballs to the mash, and that'll be me supper for the night. starting to rain actually, but at least I know I'm going to be nice and dry. There's actually a lot of heat in them ashes, you know. When you turn the light off you can actually see them glowing in the dark, so they're giving off a lot of heat. So you don't actually need the fire to, with the flame I should say, to boil your water, just the embers. The bed of coals is all you need to boil your water. I think first I'll add a bit of salt to the water, a bit of salt and pepper. Because packet mash is a bit bland just on its own. Oh, like I said before, it's a shame I didn't have any butter. But when it's mixed in with the gravy, it should be okay. I probably won't use all of this because I think it's enough for 2 servings. What's in here? Oh, lots of meaty goodness. I may just put a bit more water in that sachet and rinse out that gravy because it's quite thick. Give it a stir and I'll get it back on the flame. Meaty goodness. A meal fit for a king. That's lovely, that. A good, wholesome, cheap and easy to prepare meal. Under 10 minutes. The length it takes to boil your water and heat your meatballs up. We'll stop raining. The sky's full of stars. But I'm going to drink this coffee and I'm going to turn in and I'll see you in the morning. Morning everybody. Had a really good sleep last night. It didn't even feel cold. I'll just pan around and let you see me set up before I pack up and head off home. And that's where I slept. It rained off and on last night, but I was totally dry. There's the fire totally out now. And a pan of the woods. I brought with me a 3x2 metre, like a general purpose tarp, because with us having a fire I didn't want a spark coming off and burning a hole in my basher, so that's why I brought the cheap tarp. But also I could stash it along the woods for future trips as well, and if it got stolen, if somebody found it, I wouldn't be too bothered. Look at the back there, a little bit of water collected. That's not a, you know, I was in no danger of getting wet. And to give us extra headroom, I put a stone in there and I tied a clove hitch, which allowed us to put a guy line back to this tree and an adjustable taut line hitch. So as you can see, it's a very simple setup, lean-to, which allowed us to capture a lot of heat from the fire and keep really warm last night. In fact, I had to wait till the fire died back to get into my bivvy because it was there was 1 or 2 sparks coming off, so it was about 3 o'clock actually. So rather than getting me bivvy and possibly a spark burning a hole in it, I just waited till the fire died right back, and it really started to rain as well at one point, which helped to put it out. So there you have it. So all that remains now is for me to tidy this mess up, pack up and head off home. And you never know, I may see you in the next one.